All plans survive first contact, or what Mike Tyson more eloquently said was, everybody's a tough guy till they get punched in the face. Life seeming to fall apart around you is the action in which you've requested. When you're coming up on an objective, you of course want the insertion of quiet, clandestine, covert, whatever. You don't want anybody to know that you're actually there until you start making noise, or maybe you don't make noise. Point is that you reach this point of what we call the LCC, last line of cover and concealment. LCC, last cover and concealment. You get down, you do a SILS, you stop, look, listen, smell, take in the environment, the atmospherics, make sure that you're on point with your navigation, communicate with everybody, get everyone up on gear, comms, water, whatever it is, make sure that you're ready to do the assault. And then you step out into the open, into the unknown. Now there's more variables at play, the majority of them externally, and you have to try to execute your plan as diligently as possible. But the reality of it is that all plans survive first contact. The moment that contact gets initiated, you start getting shot at by the enemy, you're shooting back, your whole plan fails. Like it just falters. And so that's why it's important to understand the commander's intent or the strategic intent for that operation. So that way you can just adapt. And if your position of dominance was supposed to be that corner of a building and turns out you ain't gonna make it over there because of the hail of gunfire, well, guess what? You understand still that the objective is to secure that compound. So what do? You work to maneuver to see if by taking an alternative position, one that you probably already had pre-planned whenever you do the map study, because that's the level and effort that you put into the mission planning process. Hopefully that's the effort you put into your life process, but most people, I would say, probably don't. And you see if you could take out whatever it is that's keeping you from getting to your position of dominance. Life is going to throw problems at you in order to develop you. It's just the unfortunate reality of how things are. And when your world seems like it's falling apart, everything seems like it's just coming undone, and you're just waking up sick and distressed all day, every single day, then what's happening is you're stepping out into the open. You're stepping out from your last point of cover and concealment, and you're being exposed to the enemy, and you're being shot at, and you're being rockets and grenades are being thrown at you, and life is trying to kill you, it's trying to bring you down. Me, I think that's the devil and demons and all this other stuff and temptation or whatever, but regardless, that's your opportunity to shine. That's the opportunity for you to maneuver and adjust. And hopefully you've foreseen some of these issues that could be thrown your way, these temptations, these things that pull you out of conscious alignment within yourself, that congruence that we all need within ourselves so we can reach optimal flow state at all points in time in life. That's your opportunity, guys. And so things falling apart are the actual formation of the gift that you've been asking for, that you're supposed to be ready to receive. But instead, we always get so wrapped up in all the negative and how everything's falling apart. Well, what did you think it was going to be? Did you just think it was going to be some easy process that was just going to be given to you? And this is what so many people can't seem to break past. And that's why they're the exact same way at 65 as they were when they were 14, is because they lived in this perpetual cycle of getting ready to receive life change, things that they've probably been asking for, envisioning themselves to have. Maybe some people even consciously are trying to attain and visualize and do that whole thing and really work towards something, but they just don't ever seem to get it. And it's because the focus goes and your energy flows to the negative of the situation that's being given to you. You made it to the objective. Now it's time to get to work. Now's the time to maneuver through the gunfire. Yeah, a 20K offset is super exhausting, especially when you got a bunch of gear on you. But guess what? You had to do that through mountainous, rugged terrain. And now that you're at the village and you've stepped out beyond that last point of cover and concealment, your LCC, you're dedicated, you're executing. That's the whole point. And when you focus on everything falling apart around you and you start to develop a victim mentality, you literally trip over your own shoelaces, 2 steps out, fall face first down in the mud, and then you stay there. Instead of getting back up and just charging forward to a dominant position, we focus on the negative, and that keeps us down, and then we fail, we get pushed back. Okay, let's try that again. And then you get yourself to that same point. It's like a nightmare reliving itself. And then you develop a negative belief about how you'll never accomplish that, and then it becomes solidified in the subconscious portion of your behaviors, and you fall further and further away from the greatest version of you and who you could be. So when life is falling apart, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to view that as your hail of gunfire. But you have to have a strategic intent. You have to have a commander's intent and a purpose. Like, what are you attaining? What are you moving towards? If you don't have that clearly defined objective, you're just running around in gunfire. So whatever your life purpose, your objective, the thing you're trying to attain, the next step, goal, benchmark, whatever it is, milestone in your life that you are working towards. And when things start to fall apart all around you, and it just seems like nothing is working out, everything's going to shambles, keep your energy and your focus on the positive things that you can affect and positively change in the short term, within 6 feet around you, in the near future, and the near future meaning 1 hour. And when you do that exhaustively, day after day after day, you're moving from position of cover and concealment to a new position of cover and concealment, positions of dominance, and slowly but surely, in the volley of gunfire, back and forth, between you and your demons, you and the enemy, you and the problems that you're trying to face and solve, you will be victorious. And then you move on to the next one, and guess what? There's another bad guy. There's another problem. There's other demons. There's other things that you're going to need to maneuver through and overcome. But that's life. Living is progress. Progress is solving things, doing stuff. So you really only have 2 choices. Well, I guess 3, maybe more, but one is just continue to stay the same. Most people do that, and they could live there. That's something that people usually do. They just numb themselves a lot, and then they just die someday. You could do that. You can die. You could just give up and, off yourself. But man, that's, I don't know, such a horrible solution if you ask me, no matter how much pain you happen to be in. And I know, because I've been there before, and it's so remarkable, the beauty that life can rebound into one's existence when they focus on the things they could positively change and affect within 6 feet around them for the next hour, exhaustively over periods of time. It's amazing the beauty that can rebound into a lost person's life. And so I don't think that's a good answer. And the third is that, well, you bound and you maneuver and you fire back and you solve it and you accomplish things and you become a greater version of yourself. And you live a very fulfilled life, and then you aspire your children and your wife and your family members and others perhaps to do really cool things, because everybody has it in them, but nobody ever gets told that. And then when they see somebody with that level of energy telling them that they could do great things, then they see you do great things. So it's like, yeah, this person obviously knows what they're talking about, because I like the things they do and say, and they're saying I could do it too. That's the ripple compounded effect that you could have on the universe. And I highly encourage you to try to take that route. Because if you die in the process, well, you die in the process anyways. You're making the most out of it in the meantime. At least that's what I view it as. So when things are falling apart, guys, realize that this is the manifestation of the objective. This is the gift being ready. It's being formulated to be given to you. But you have to learn the lessons. You have to bound and maneuver and fire back and overcome those enemy forces that are holding those dominant positions, or at least preventing you from getting to your dominant position, your strategic commander's intent. That's the gift. You're there. You've reached the objective. It's game time now. This is the time to buckle down on the discipline, your thoughts, positive mindset, positive energy, positive actions. Inflict daily self-adversity upon yourself so you become even stronger to deal with the external adversity. And always just continue to move forward. Be thankful for your problems. Be thankful. That is the volley of gunfire. Prove to yourself and the people whom you love that you are the hero that you need. You, the greatest version of you. And that will have a positive, lasting impact on people around you. Take care.